Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guest. A warm welcome to meeting number 9 of the Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmaster Club. I am Toastmaster Prasang, your Sergeant at Arm for the today meeting. As Sergeant at Arm, it is my responsibility to highlight some key points. First, the meeting is blocked for the 2 hours. I urge you to stay for the entire duration to get the maximum benefit of the meeting. Second, your video should be on and your audio should be off. Only unmute yourself when you need to speak or call to speak. Third, regarding the topic of sex, religion, and politics, even though International Toastmaster does not put any restriction, at the Gabbys Toastmaster Club, we request all the speaker and role taker to be mindful while speaking on these topics and abstain from creating any controversies on these topics. Our club mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, I would like to hand over the meeting to our today presiding officer, Samita Kar. Before I hand over, I would like to introduce the presiding officer. She is a dynamic soft skills trainer with a dream to empower women leaders. She boasts confidence, communication, and careers. An avid storyteller and passionate traveler, her suitcase is full of stories, from bathing elephants in Sri Lanka to exploring the ruins of Nalanda. Let's welcome our today presiding officer, Toastmaster Samita Kar, with a round of applause.
Thank you so much. Let us hear for our Sergeant and Toastmaster Prasang Mani for starting the meeting right on time. With that, I declare the Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmasters Club meeting number 9 open. I welcome all the club members, visiting Toastmasters, and guests to our meeting today. I see a few guests today. You can please unmute and give a quick 15-second introduction. From where did you come to know about the meeting? What are you expecting? Yes, Anish Gupta, Toastmaster Anish Gupta, or are you a guest Anish Gupta? Can you unmute and speak? Okay. Kumar Shaikh, are you a guest or a visiting Toastmaster?
Yeah, good evening. I just opened WhatsApp. I got the message happening now. And immediately I joined. I'm from Muscat, Oman, district 105, area 18.
A quick introduction of what you do and what do you expect of a Toastmasters meeting?
Yeah, myself, Kumar Basha Sheikh. So I working with my software company in IT field, IT background. I'm expecting as networking as well as public speaking, improving public speaking as well as networking.
Okay, please stay till the end of the meeting and we would love to hear from you. Guest Anisha Gupta, would you like to give a quick introduction? From where are you and how did you get to know about our club?
Thank you, Presiding Officer Samita. Hi, I'm a Toastmaster before from experience. I've spent a lot of time in District 41 in the Delhi NCR circle. I'm new to Bangalore. I recently moved here temporarily for some work. Been active in the Noida Toastmasters and Professional Speakers Advanced Club. But there has been a few years of gap, and I'm hoping to restart my Toastmasters journey and also be around the Toastmasters community of Bangalore. So this is my first meeting, and I got to know about the Gabbys Club from the website. Thank you. Excited to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please stay till the end, and we would love to hear from you after you have attended our meeting. in okay. So now, if someone joins, you all can please give your introduction in the chat because we have to move on with our meeting. For the interest of the guests and those who are not Toastmasters, a very quick information about this platform, Toastmasters platform. This was started by Dr. Ralph S. Medley in 1924. So it is already 100 years. It's more than 100 years that this platform is there. And it was started with an intention of engaging people so that they can enhance their public speaking skills and leadership qualities. This is a non-profit educational organization that operates clubs worldwide to help people improve their communication, improve their public speaking and leadership skills. It provides a very supportive environment for members to practice and refine these skills through their regular meetings, giving speeches, and taking on leadership roles. Now, today's meeting is very, very interesting and special meeting. We are all excited and we are waiting for it. And today we have someone who will be taking our meeting forward, that is our Toastmaster of the Day. Now, our Toastmaster of the Day is a software engineer from Rajasthan. He practices Vipassana meditation to stay centered and enjoys books, entertainment, and meaningful conversation. Our Toastmaster of the day today is Toastmaster Vipul Sharda. Over to you, Toastmaster Vipul Sharda.
I truly appreciate the kind introduction, Toastmaster Samita Kar. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this special meeting of GOAT. For the benefit of our guest, let me explain the structure of today's meeting. This special meeting of GOAT is divided into two key sections. First is educational session, where we gain insights from experienced speakers or trainers. Second is mock evaluation contest, where a star Toastmaster delivers a test speech and lineup of evaluator showcase their evaluations. This format is fun, experimental, and a wonderful opportunity for us to learn and grow together. Before we move to the educational session, let me introduce two important rule takers. First, our timer for today, Toastmaster Dev Kambli. Dev works in a software company and is based in Mumbai. He is married and blessed with a son. His wife and mother are his biggest support system. Dev loves coaching on growth mindset and design thinking. In his free time, he enjoys binge watching, reading, and going to the gym. He joined Toastmasters just 2 months ago to learn from this wonderful community. He will time the entire meeting and raise the red card whenever a segment exceeds its time limit. Thank you, Toastmaster Dev Kamli. Next, our education session moderator, Toastmaster Renu Kaushal. Toastmaster Renu is a certified soft skill and pause trainer and an inspiring image consultant. She is passionate about connecting with people, understanding their stories, and helping them grow through meaningful conversation. Outside of work, she finds joy in cooking and nurturing her garden, two pursuits that keep her grounded and present. And now it is time to invite our esteemed guest speaker, Tina Walia, who is here to enlighten us with valuable insights on how to get real Instagram followers without buying bots. Tina is an accomplished image consultant, a corporate trainer, with over 27 years of experience in fashion, retail, and soft skill development. She has worked with top brands like Global Desi and Shoppers Stops and has trained organizations such as Indigo Airways, Kotak Mahindra, SCL Healthcare, and HP Petroleum. As a certified image consultant, life coach, and NLP master practitioner, she blends expertise in personal branding, executive presence, and communication, helping professionals show up with confidence and impact. She has trained over 12,000 individuals across India, delivering engaging, result oriented sessions both online and offline. Without further ado, let's hand over the virtual stage to the speaker. Over to you, Tina Walia. Let's give a big round of applause for our speaker, Tina Walia.
Thank you so much for that very warm and generous introduction. Thank you. Very happy to be here today.
Okay. So, Tina ma'am, before we dive into today's conversation, so I'm the moderator for our chat today. So, I would just like to share my own personal connection, which I have shared with you, and long before we met virtually in a training room, you being my trainer, right? So, I've been already following you on the Instagram. And before that, I think I was following you on the Facebook page, the Sipping Thoughts. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's been like a very, very long connection that I just happened to join to today when while my research with during your profile search.
Thank you.
So now,
Thank you. Renu, may I request you to call me Tina and not Tina ma'am, please?
yes, yes, thank you. Thank you. Now there is another admission I would like to make over here that I rarely engage with any handles on Instagram, right? I do scroll mindlessly on Instagram, but your profile or your handle was a bit different, right? Your Instagram stories in particular, they always carried a dash of humor that made me rather impossible me to scroll past. And I do try and give my point of introduction there.
Thank you so much. Means a lot.
Now that is exactly the energy we want to bring here in today's fireside chat. It needs to be something like authentic, engaging, and sprinkled with some warmth of yours.
Absolutely.
So,
Excited.
yes. So over the next 30 minutes, we will uncover insights from your journey on Instagram, learn from your experience as a creator or a creator, and I would just ask all the Toastmasters and the welcome guests that are present in the room. They may also feel free to keep adding their questions in the chat throughout the session, and we'll try and bring as many of them into the conversation as possible.
Absolutely.
So let's begin with the chat, ma'am. So Tina, before we talk about the strategies and the various algorithms that we hear of or the hashtag thing, so let's rewind. Let's quickly get back to your first Instagram post. So how do you remember that post?
Well, very frankly, I did not remember it. I personally feel that when I started initially, it might have been several years back, maybe 2017, 2018, somewhere there.
Okay.
And all I did was I had discovered Pinterest newly. I
Right.
would take screenshots of whatever appealed to me and just start posting. One of the
Okay.
few posts which had myself featuring in it was where I had styled a denim skirt with a white shirt. And
Okay.
if I remember correctly, it was far from perfect. If I had to do it all over again, I would scrap the entire thing. The quality was sad, but the only lesson that I learned was start somewhere. So I love that
Yes.
Nike, they have that thing, just do it. And that is something that should stay with all of us. Don't
Right.
wait for perfection. Just jump write in and, like they say, dive and then learn to swim later. That's the only
Yeah,
difference.
yes, that's a beautiful. I'll just share my screen and I'll share that first post that I found of you. You
Okay.
remember, right? That was in the year 2017 and on 25th September, right?
And like I said, it was a screenshot. There was nothing
Yes,
authentic about it whatsoever, except that it resonated with me.
yes, yes. So I can see that you were an early bird, right? So on the Instagram, and we've seen it all, like, and probably like you've seen it all, and so every one of us dreams of being going viral, and but we would just like to hear about from you what
Hmm.
has been a very like a very common myth among the people about this Instagram fame, so that
Okay.
the people generally fall prey to.
Okay. I would say if you talk about myths and the fact about being or going viral, the biggest myth in my perception is the fact that most people think that going viral will suddenly overnight change your life. But I'm sorry, nothing changes. Your personal life stays the same. Your professional life perhaps stays the same. Yes, you would get a few more likes and you would get followers. However, likes does not equal loyalty.
Yes.
The kind of followers that you will attract will just be randomly liking and, like you said, mindlessly scrolling. They
Mhm.
will not be the kind of people who will be loyal to you and engage with every post. For that, you need to build long-term relationships with people.
Right, right. Yes, that is what well said, ma'am. Tina, so I'll take some time before I stop calling you ma'am, right? It's been like, okay. Now you have already crossed 100,000 followers, right? And you are still adding on to it. So
Okay.
this has been a really, really incredible thing too. And there must be some kind of a defining movement in your Instagram journey that would have really hit. That something, whatever you are doing, is really working.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I started long time back and I've crossed 100K just a few months ago, by the way.
okay.
So it's been slow and steady. Nothing has happened overnight with me. But yes, I think the moment I started getting messages from random people, my followers, about how certain things that I had shared had changed their life, be it in terms of styling or anything else for that matter, because I do share a lot of motivational stories as well.
Hmm.
How those have changed their life is what is greater than numbers, in my opinion. It's that
Yes,
personal connect, ultimately.
right.
So you're
Yeah,
able to back in some way and help someone add value.
right, right. Yes, it's again right something like not very educational all the time. Like you're not maybe giving off the gyan kind of a thing, but yes, you are making that like relatability factor was always there right
Yeah.
from the very beginning. So yes. Now, what is your secret formula? It's that's the same relatability thing. So, so for your Instagram journey, so if I would say, if like you are a makeup artist, right? So if I would uh, question it in terms of makeup, if it is a Instagram journey, if it's a basic beauty routine, what are the three unexpected steps would you like to
Okay.
us to
Yeah,
follow?
absolutely. So I would say first and foremost is consistency. Nothing beats consistency. I started way back in 2017 or 18, I forget. It's 2025 today.
Nice.
Initially, there would not be a single day where I would skip posting.
Yeah.
7 days a week, rain or shine, whether I was traveling, whether there are so many ups and downs that you go through.
Yes.
But I have stayed consistent, and I think that has what helped people to realize that she is somebody who's credible, who follows
Mm,
what she speaks. So consistency is the most important. Thereafter, I would say is a bit of relatability, like you mentioned.
yes.
trying to stay relatable. I am not a 20-something influencer who is setting trends and doing all kinds of things on the gram. I'm just being me. And
Yeah.
I would like to attract followers who are like myself. So just being relatable, whether it's through your posts or it's through the content that you share on your stories. Last but not the least, I would say a lot of trial and error.
Right.
Constant trial and error, make mistakes and learn from the mistakes. And that's how life is.
Right.
I would say those are the top three.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. I think the overcoming your fear of failure and still remaining consistent is something that always works. It is something like the recipe, I think we all know, but we tend to forget it or overlook it, right? We found it all a very shortcut kind of a thing, a quick fix for our things. So now this when we talk about the consistency thing, right? So the next thought that comes to my mind is, from where do you get those ideas flowing, those creative ideas? Where do you get them? So, like me, I just stare at my phone. What should I post? Even though I haven't started my Instagram journey, just because of the fear of, I mean, my content may not be very viable or relatable. So,
Okay.
what fuels your creativity?
I think just having these conversations fuels my creativity. Connections, daily conversations, be it with my students, be it with participants, anyone. In fact, even observations of people going about doing their daily lives. When
Right.
I look around is where I get my content from.
Yeah. Yes.
There is no strategy really. Anything I feel will add value in some way is what I choose to post about.
Okay. That means we need to be present in the moment, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Okay.
enjoy what you do. Most important. I love what.
Yes. Right. I can vouch for that, that you completely enjoy your stuff, right? So being authentic is whenever we are like, okay, we are creative enough, but how do we bring that authenticity factor? Because that's again a big buzzword, right? So the real strategy is being authentic. So I see many Instagram influencers or there are people, they copy others' posts and everything, right? So how do we remain authentic?
Well, how do we remain authentic is something that I've learned over the years. Initially, also, there was this constant struggle as to what actually is being authentic, because ultimately I'm being myself.
Right.
But what does it really mean in terms of Instagram and the posts that you do? Because authenticity is being yourself. Strategy is basically trying to be yourself and still be able to reach out to the masses.
Okay.
So both of these things have to go hand in hand. For me, authenticity is, initially the struggle was, should I post about something that is not fashion or beauty related? Because ultimately I'm a wellness coach as well.
Right.
I would struggle with a lot of things. So for instance, sometimes there is political turmoil as we see all around us.
Yeah.
Should I post about that in my stories? Should I reshare them further?
Mhm.
And I was always wondering, what should I do? Because it's really not my niche. However, I have realized the hard way that this is who I am. If this is something that is of interest to me, I will share it in my stories. And thereafter, the people who are the like-minded community will also appreciate that. So I have built that slowly.
Yes.
You will never see me posting content about dining etiquette because that is not something true to me.
Right.
I will go to a restaurant and I will put my phone on the table because I don't want to miss an important call. I
Yes.
might even not put my handbag in the right desired place at times. And that's me. And I realize that I will practice what I preach. So you will not see any dining etiquette content on me.
Mhm.
But it's the finer attention to detail. Strategy is again something that I have learned the hard way because I was making content, but it wasn't reaching the right people. So I had
Yes.
to do my research. And finally, I have tied up with a team who looks after that aspect for me now over the last few months. And that is really what has helped me cross that 100K mark. Initially, I was stagnant at about 40K for a very long time. So ultimately, it's about letting somebody do what they are an expert at. If I am an expert at certain things, I will do that. I will get hold of an expert marketing team to do their needful.
So yes, knowledge means having a self-empathy and recognizing your own strengths and weaknesses. I
And knowing
think
that
that
you
brings,
can't do it all. We can't be
yes,
a one-man army. It's just
right,
not possible.
yes, right. Okay, like anybody in the room would like to ask something or have any questions popping their mind.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm all the way from New York City. I'm jumping in. I wish I could be on camera, but I don't look my best, and I'm in front of some two beautiful women. Hi, ladies.
Good
My
evening.
question, good afternoon. My question, well, it's morning for me, but my question is, I have a business. I want to start. I am a speaker and I help entrepreneurs and leaders. And I want to start like hiring influencers to advertise my business. I just started, so my budget is low. How do I reach out to influencers so I can hire them to help promote my business? Like, how do I do that?
So what I would suggest is spend a little time on Instagram. Try and narrow down a list of people whose work you admire, because there is just so much content out there. But I'm pretty certain that not all of it will be resonating with you. So narrow down people, message them on Instagram. Build those
Sanjay,
connections.
white light band kar abhi.
What am I saying when I send a message? So I'm in order in terms of how would I write the message?
That's a pain point for me, and I'm glad you brought it up. I get so many messages in a day saying just hi, hello, and there is no follow-up message. So of course, you start out with some kind of a greeting and you mention that I have been following you for a while and I like the kind of content that you create. Would it be okay if I, suggest a collaboration or anything? And thereafter leave the ball in their court, because ultimately they will then, respond by asking you whether it's a paid or a barter collab and how to take things forward from there. So definitely do lead some kind of relevant message underneath that greeting. I hope
Thank you
I.
so much. Yeah, you did. Thank you so much. That's very important. Thank you so much.
Very welcome.
Okay, I can see your hand raised by our presiding officer. Yes, Samita ji, you may start.
Yes. Hi, Tina. Now, I wanted to ask, you said that you have hired a marketing team, but you have hired it recently.
Yes.
What is your suggestion? After how many followers should we try, or how many posts rather, should we try and get a marketing team?
I would say there's no one shoe size that fits all. I was in the business for a very long time. I was getting work out of it. However, my growth was stagnant. And I realized that my content was perhaps not very simple. So I would use a lot of jargons. I would, try and sound like the expert, which really wasn't connecting with the people. So when I brought in the marketing team, that was my thought process, that I should be able to reach out to more people. And that's exactly what they did for me. They have simplified my content into bite-sized pieces. I would give maybe 10 pieces of gyan, like Renu mentions, in one post. But now I will make 10 separate posts for all of those.
Okay. So basically, we need to water down the content so that the youth of today, they have very less attention span, and in that attention span we can make sure that we are grabbing their attention and they are able to get something out of it.
Why
And
just youth of today? I would say even my age. I'm going to be 50 next year.
okay.
This Instagram, TikTok, that your attention span is small,
has
kind of a
reduced.
goldfish nowadays.
Mhm.
You need to grab the attention just like that.
Okay, that is one.
Kind
And
of reach.
we can go in for marketing whenever we want to increase the.
Online visibility is a must. Because today I can be sitting in Delhi and I have people, maybe like the lady introduced herself, she was from the US. How do you build connections? How do you build a bond? How do you make people in other parts of the world realize that you are here? Because nowadays, online is the way forward. You're getting a lot of work opportunities online as well, which would have never been possible pre-COVID, I guess. So online visibility is a definite must these days.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I see another hand raised by Sourav.
Tina, my question, I actually have got a couple of questions. So the first question is that, there are certain contents which I find very, beaten to death kind of content. Some of the favorite topics like image consultants and soft skills trainer. One is procrastination. Every person that I know has made at least one post on procrastination.
I haven't.
So yeah, you're someone that I just got to know who did not. But most of the people that I've seen, you know what I'm talking about,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Image consultants, if you see, I'm so happy you don't make dining etiquette posts. Those are some of the ones which are beaten to death. On the other hand, so I had tried doing some offbeat kind of posts. So one post that I had done quite some time back was on different type of rhetorical devices that we can make. For example, hyperbole, right? Hyperbole is something, and there's one of the mispronounced words. So I did a post in terms of why we should use hyperbole, how we should use hyperbole. I got only 10 likes on that post. I got super demotivated and I've stopped making any kind of reels and Instagram because, it did not make any sense. I thought that that post was adding a lot of value. I actually made a couple of more rhetoric posts on rhetorical devices, rule of three, alliterations, and so on. And I did find an audience for it. So I think it was very technical, I thought. That's right. So how do I choose like what kind of topics which are easy to understand or topics which are probably a little bit more technical, but could probably be something that people don't really know about? That's one. Question number one. Question number two is I'm seeing a trend of late. People are picking up videos of some celebrity and then commenting on that. See, that person is sitting like that. See, that person is smiling like that. I recently saw, I won't name that person. She took up a video of Kajal and said that, Kajal is sitting like this. She should not be sitting like this. And someone said, who are you to comment on Kajal's sitting posture, right? So my question here is that, is it even okay for us to do something like this, picking up someone's video and without their permission, putting it up there saying that, this is right, this is not right. So just, what's your thought on these two aspects?
Let me answer the second one first, because I am somebody who was never in favor of it. However, I have to do it because those are the only kind of things that get eyeballs. The moment you have a celebrity, you've caught everybody's attention, and thereafter you have ensured that your reel is going to get a certain number of likes. So like it or you don't like it, that's what the average person is demanding. So you cater to that. Because there was a long time back that I did not fall to all of these things, fall prey. However, whatever works is what I'm going to provide. And I have had to make peace with that. Coming to the second one now, the first question. I initially did things like you, Sourav, wherein I would make complicated content because that was the kind of community that I was moving around in. And they appreciated whatever I was doing. However, I was not able to grow. The average person is not looking for things which are very complex. They're looking at simpler things which will simplify their life in some way. So if you have to choose upon a strategy, I would say start with posting simple things. Get your community in place. Thereafter, once you have managed to do that, you would like to now establish your expertise, start posting a few of the complicated things that you want to post about as well. but always keep it simple. This is something that I've learned from Rakesh sir at ICBI. Always keep it simple. And that is something that I have taken away from him and have stayed true to that for several years now. I hope I've been able to answer your question, Sourav.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. As Bindu mentioned, I love your honesty. Thank you. Angela, somebody has a question, Renu. She's raising her hand.
Yes, thank you. I have a question about copyright. Supposing I want to show a picture, I might be recommending someone else's book or a film or a restaurant. And I don't know whether I can use a picture I've taken of it or a picture of a screen capture. Can you tell me anything about copyright and what I should do when I'm referring to someone else?
So I have rarely gotten into trouble because I usually stay pretty cautious. However, I do understand your concern, Angela, because there was this one odd time that I took a random video and I posted it as a reel on my page, and I heard from the lady because I forgot to blur out her face. So I heard from the lady saying that, you have used my whatever image without my consent. Please take it down. I really have no answer for this. I leave it to my team now. If anyone here has an answer to Angela, please feel free to pitch in, because I really don't know how to be able to do that.
So I can probably answer this because we have the same problem, Angela, for websites, and we do
Thank you.
marketing. Digital marketing is something that we do for a consulting company. So what we typically do is, if there's anyone challenging it, the first thing is to acknowledge that we will look into it, and then we actually investigate. And if there is any contention, if we don't have the due copyrights, then we take it down, as Tina mentioned, because the cost of non-compliance or copyright violation is actually, if someone really wants to pursue that, it's going to hit us very badly. It can go into thousands of dollars, or maybe more than hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the best thing is to not go into a confrontation for that. And the thing is that when you source the images, it is always good to source it from places where you don't find copyrighted images, like for example Pixel, or and like as Noor mentioned, there are some so Noor can probably add more on this AI part. I would let him talk about it. But what we do is we source it from Pixel or some sources where we know it's not copyrighted. And if it is copyrighted, then in that case, we don't use it. So I think it's very simple. No confrontation, and be very safe from the start. But Noor, you wanted to add something. If you can please, I don't know about Creative Commons. If you want to add. Okay, I think he's not in a position to speak. But Angela, he has put a, yeah, Noor, if you want to elaborate on that, please. Oh, he's not here. Not, but Angela, he has mentioned this there. He's not. We're not able to hear him. That this Creative Commons is an AI which actually lets you generate an image which is very close to the original image. So you may want to try that.
Thank you.
Generating that image using something else. What I understand technically is that then it is not anymore an original image, because they're making substantial alteration to the image. Note, please correct me if I'm wrong on the chat, because we can't hear you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I see the timer is raising his yellow card, but I have more questions to ask. So, let me have some engage some in humor that you are very good with, right? If the bots are scrolling down your profile, right? So, how do you think they would say? What do you think they would say about your profile?
They just roll their eyes and say, damn, we don't need this. This lady doesn't need us, rather.
Or would it they, or would it say this is just press the follow button, I would say.
Thank you.
So she's not playing by our rules. Maybe there's something other than that could be. So she's not playing by our rules. So let's keep the humor going. And what is one of the most funniest DM that you have received on your post?
I've actually been blessed by not getting too much hate, etc. However, one of them really took me back a little was when they said, what kind of aesthetic treatments was I undergoing because I look fantastic for my age? So that one really had me on the back foot, but I took it as a compliment. So yeah, all is good.
Yes, I consider that a compliment because I think you are a fabulous makeup artist.
Thank you.
Or for someone like me who's just starting with the journey, so with somebody with almost a zero followers, except few of my family and friends. So what is one thing I should absolutely not do? Or maybe
Don't copy
anything
and
I
paste.
should do, something, one thing.
So definitely don't copy and paste trends. Don't blindly fall into, trending music and things like those. I never have done it and I don't choose to do it because, like I said, I'm not 20 and that's not my niche or my target audience. So don't copy paste. What you should be doing is just thinking about giving back, adding value wherever possible. Try to simplify the other person's life. So it's like, they say you feel butterflies in your stomach as a speaker when you're focusing on what you're going to say. But the moment you shift the focus to what is it that I'm going to share with my audience, that is a complete game changer. So definitely think about adding value in some way.
So last and final question for myself, like if the Instagram wasn't there or it disappeared, what is the one lesson that your journey as an influencer you will carry to your real life and maybe to your students and trainees in your real life?
I would say the one lesson that I've learned is that storytelling and connections are important. The kind of like-minded community that I've managed to build for myself in these last several years, I met so many phenomenal women who are so inspiring in their own way that I can't thank God enough. So for me, it's not about numbers, it's about adding value, and it's about having that opportunity to have met so many people, which would not have been possible without this.
Yeah, you are also one such role model for us. So I would say such that. And I would just thank you enough. Like I can't thank you enough for having such a heart-to-heart talk and being so honest with everything. Just like your post on the social media and the Instagram, I see over here also the relatability factor coming into play. Thank you so much, and we would like you to come back more often on our club, right?
The pleasure would
Thank
be
you so
all
much.
mine. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Right.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, I now hand over the virtual stage to our Toastmaster of the day, Vipul.
Let's give a big round of applause for our speaker, Tina Walia. Thank you so much, Tina, for that insightful session. What a meaningful conversation you guys were having. And I believe most of us would have learned something new from it. And kudos on hitting the 100K milestone.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's now take a short 5-minute break and I'll see you back soon. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you are back and had a refreshing break.
Not able to hear you.
No, yes, you are audible. Vipul.
Hello, am I
Yes, you
now?
are audible. Yes,
He's
you are.
audible.
We can.
You are audible.
It's
Okay,
audible.
okay, cool. So welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a refreshing break. Let's get back into the spirit of today's meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, and esteemed guests, welcome to a very special segment of today's meeting. It is my honor to introduce the mock evaluation contest, a format that is engaging, experimental, and designed to enrich our learning and growth together. As tradition holds, an evaluation contest begins with a test speech. Today, this will be delivered by a star Toastmaster. Following the test speech, there will be a period of 5 minutes of silence to allow all the evaluators to prepare their notes. At the conclusion of this time, the timer will signal raising the red card. Each evaluator will present their evaluation for 2 to 3 minutes. Green card will be shown at 2 minutes, yellow at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red at 3 minutes, with a 30-second grace period. Anything under 1 minute 30 seconds or 3 minutes 30 seconds or over 3 minutes 30 seconds will lead to disqualification. Unlike a traditional contest, tonight there will be no chief judge, no panel of judges. Instead, the winner will be chosen based on two factors: audience poll and test speaker's choice. After the preparation time, I will be inviting our evaluators in speaking order. Here how it will work. I will call out each evaluator's name, followed by a short pause. The evaluator will then turn on their camera and begin their evaluation. Note, there will be 1 minute gap between each evaluation. So, to summarize, listen carefully to the test speech. Evaluators, remember your 5 minutes preparation. Audience, stay tuned. You will have the power to decide the outcome along with our test speaker. Let us, uh, okay, now I will share my screen and will decide the order in which the evaluators will share evaluations. Can host enable the permission to share the screen?
You have to, right.
Yeah, I can now. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we will randomize it thrice, and that will be the final list or the order. So so this is the order. I'll share this order in the Zoom chat. It is now my honor to invite our test speaker for the evening, Toastmasters Sanskriti Acharya. Her speech titled Power will serve as the foundation for today's mock evaluation contest. Please welcome Toastmaster Sanskriti Acharya. Toastmaster Sanskriti, power, power, Toastmaster Sanskriti. Over to you.
Thank you so much. 1 second. Ouch. Am I audible? And am I visible?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
I am, right? Okay.
I must have been at around 5 years old. I was at my uncle's house when I accidentally stumbled across his room, and there he was, shirt off, music blaring at the background, all sweaty. He had this dumbbell in his hands, and he goes, 5, 6, 7. And then I looked up at his face, and his face looked absolutely constipated. Now you see, it was my very first time witnessing somebody lift a dumbbell, because my father never really lifted one, neither did my mother. So out of pure curiosity, I went up to him and asked, "Uncle, what are you even doing?" He smiled, simply placed this dumbbell down, sat down, and said, "Sweetheart, come here. You see, this is power. And trust me, this will take you everywhere." I thought, oh, and that 5-year-old tender brain of mine quickly soaked in that information. To me, suddenly, biceps, power, triceps, power, veins popping out of your muscles, unquestionable power, I thought. But little did I know, different walks of life unleashes different realities. So weeks after this incident happened, I was sent for my first day of school. And then I remember when one of the teachers, she walks inside of the classroom and she goes, "Kids, remember to pay well attention to me, because you see, knowledge is power. And trust me, this will take you everywhere." And eventually, as I started growing up, layers of definitions started to press against me. You walked in a room full of business people, they would go, "Money is power." You went up to politicians, they would go, "Politics is power." Some said, "Control is power." And there were hundreds and thousands of voices lingering around my head. They said in order to feel powerful, you need to walk better, talk better, look better, be better, be louder, be quieter. Be everything but yourself. And you think I did not try to fit into every single spectrum? Of course I did. They said knowledge is power. I was at the top of my class. Did I feel powerful? Absolutely not. They said control is power. Well, I had full control over all the 5-year-old kids. Did that make me feel powerful? Absolutely not. They said money is power. I'm still broke, so let's just not talk about it. But you see, I tried to fit into every single spectrum, but I constantly failed. And at that point, I thought, maybe, just maybe, God has gifted every single human with a superhero cape except for me. And every night I went back to sleep feeling absolutely powerless. Until one day, something happened. I was just 11 years old. And there I was at my school, one of the functions. We had a beautifully organized Children's Day program, and we had so much of fun downstairs. And eventually, after the program ended, we were escorted back to our classrooms. And as I went up to my classroom, as I barged in, I saw 2 of my friends, apparently girls, from different sections, bawling their eyes out. Out of concern, I walked up to them and asked, "What's wrong?" They looked at me and said, "Well, we're having so much of fun downstairs." One of the teachers, he had walked up to them, threatened that if they don't come along with him, they would fail the midterms. And then he took them to our classroom where there was no CCTV cameras installed. And for about almost 3 hours, my friends were being touched inappropriately. When I heard that, I absolutely froze. Because this was not the first time that this particular pedophile's incidents had rung my ear. There were hundreds and thousands of such stories that everyone knew of, except for the teachers. So I thought, enough is enough. And I immediately walked up to my coordinator and I went on and told, "Ma'am, this has been happening and we need your help." She said, "Fine, Miss Acharya, Go back to your classroom and just relax. I went to my classroom. I was absolutely relaxed. Now raise your hands if you think Miss Acharya got justice. Right? I never did. In fact, what happens just minutes later, the same teacher, the pedophile, he walks into the classroom, in fact, storms inside, grabs me by my hand, pulls me outside, and then takes me up to a silent, empty space, pins me against the wall and goes, "One more word against me, Miss Acharya, and you will bear the consequences." And just when I thought he was done, he started to march closer to my face. At that point, my brain stopped. My heart completely froze. And as I stood there, I couldn't remember anything, but at that point, something inside of me eventually rose. It wasn't muscles, it wasn't money, it wasn't anything, but it was power. Finally, power. And with all the power I had, I just pushed him aside, ran downstairs, and screamed at the top of my lungs for help. And thankfully, all of the teachers, they heard my voice, and that pedophile was kicked out of the school immediately. That incident, it was my first day of power, that was realization, and his last day of power, that was suppression. You remember this dumbbell that I talked about earlier? That incident made me realize that all my life, I was busy lifting other people's definitions. But after all of that happened, I ended up knowing that, okay, it was finally time to let go of it. Let go of people's expectations, let go of people's definitions, and craft my own strength, and I did. So should you. Craft your own strength, write your own story, because you see, you are power, and trust me, this will take you everywhere. Thank you.
A big round of applause for Toastmaster Sanskriti. Thank you, Toastmaster Sanskriti Acharya, for that inspiring speech, which will be the cornerstone of today's mock evaluation contest. We will now observe 5 minutes of silence to allow our evaluators to prepare their notes. Evaluators, please make the best use of this time. Okay, thank you, timer. With the preparation time concluded, we are ready to hear from our evaluators. Each evaluator will present their observations, insights, and recommendation in 2 to 3 minutes, helping us appreciate the art of constructive feedback. Uh, so before we get started, can Zoom moderator move all the evaluators to a breakout room, except Sachin Jaiswal. He goes first.
I'm doing it. I'm assigning. So tell me one by one the names, please, because they have not renamed themselves.
Okay.
Nancy, Gaurii,
Sanjay, Sanjay,
Sravan.
Sunil Gupta, Smruti,
Sravan, Sunil Gupta.
Sravan, Sachin. Sachin will be here. He's the first evaluator. Gaurii, Smruti, and Sunil. Yeah.
I don't see Gaurii. Is she not there in the room?
I am there.
Yeah. So, and myself.
Yeah.
3, 3, 6. Okay. 7. Where is me? I'm not here. Okay, I am creating the rooms. I'm going there. Can someone join? Can come and can you send a message, Vipul, on the group or to me on WhatsApp so that I will inform people to leave the breakout room and come to the main room
Okay.
whenever. I'm just going to the room now. One second, let me just join. Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm there in the breakout room.
Okay. So we'll start with the evaluations, and our first evaluator is Toastmaster Sachin Jaiswal. Please welcome Sachin, Toastmaster
Thank,
Sachin.
thank you, TMOD, Vipul, Sharda, and a very good evening to all the Toastmasters and guests, and a special evening to Toastmaster Sanskrit Acharya. What a wonderful speech. I've never seen something like that earlier. The speech was about power, and Toastmaster Sanskrit Acharya, you have portrayed your definition of power at different ages. So when you were 5 years old, it appeared to you that the power was physical strength. When you saw your uncle doing jumble, you thought that that is the power. Then in the body section, you said that when you went to school, you realized that power, knowledge is power. Then when you went to your corporate life, business, you said that money is power. And then as you matured, you realize that politics is power, control is power. So different definitions of power. But then at the end, you said that you realize what is actual power, and that was triggered by an incidence of pedophilia. Which, and in the conclusion, you said that the power is actually the realization of your strength. So, and then you say that let's go up people, different definitions of power and expectations. Actually, you are the power. You don't have to depend on the definitions of people to understand what is power. You actually is a power. You are a powerhouse. What a beautiful conclusion. Now, some of the things which you really excelled at, you are awesome in the content. The content about power, definition of power, and your understanding of power with your age, with when you were 5, when you were 11, when you're adult, what was your perception of power? That came very beautifully. And then your realization what was power through an incident, a beautiful way of showing that what is power. Throughout the speech, you used your body language very effectively. There was beautiful, great usage of stage. You were, all over the stage. You're very emotional. Your emotions and expressions were very clear and were apt to the theme. Body language and hand gestures also, reflected your emotion very clearly. And you had a vocal variety and a very logical content, a powerful content. What an outstanding speech! And frankly speaking, I could not find any flaw in your speech. It was a flawless speech and a great speech which will be remembered in Toastmaster. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Vipul Sharda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sachin, for your insightful evaluation. The 1 minute break starts now. Has Sravan joined this room?
I think I can see Sravan now. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get started. So please welcome Toastmaster Sravan Kumar. Sravan?
Yeah. Yes, Toastmaster Vipul, am I audible and visible clearly?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can see you and hear you.
Okay, fine. Yeah, tell me, can I go ahead or?
Yes.
Okay. Sanskriti Acharya, what an absolutely power-packed performance. Your speech was brimming with the energy, passion, and a touch of clever sarcasm that kept us both entertained and engaged. Your objective to deliver a revolutionary message came through strongly, your personal experience as well. And what made it even more compelling was the depth of emotion you brought into every word. Your voice modulation and emotional delivery were in perfect synchronization, showing great control and awareness as a speaker. That was the best part of your speech. Coming to the recommendation, one area where you could evaluate your delivery even further is with your eye contact. As they say, the eyes are the windows to the soul, and they carry immense power in connecting with the audience. However, due to your current camera positioning and hairstyle, it was a bit challenging to fully observe this impact aspect. I encourage you to align your camera at eye level and ensure your face is undisturbed. This will allow your expression to reach and resonate with your audience more effectively. Additionally, as you move forward, consider selecting topics that not only ignite thought but also foster broader engagement. While revolutionary topics are impactful, they can sometimes polarize. Choosing themes that unify while still being powerful can help you connect with an even wider audience, especially in global context. This is my recommendation. You are truly a great speaker. You are so confident, passionate speaker with immense potential. Your stage presence, vocal delivery, and commitment to your message are inspiring. With just a few tweaks, I have no doubt you will captivate even larger audience and shine even brighter. Wishing you continued success in all your future endeavors. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sravan, for your valuable feedback. The 1 minute break starts now. Has Toastmaster Sanjay joined the main room? Okay, yes. Uh, Now, please welcome Toastmaster Sanjay Jain. And can anyone spotlight him as well? Okay, you can get started, Sanjay.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The speaker had given a very powerful story. It was a very inspiring, and it has a clear message to the audience, which hooked the audience from the start to the end. I liked each and everything what she had spoken, from the uh, from the style of from the childhood to the class she attended, and how she has gained the power within herself. So this is a very inspiring story, and it also takes the audience to the next level, that actions, people who take actions earns the power, and people who do not take action will never understand the power within themselves. This is whether you have knowledge or you have bicycles, bicycle with the, you need to take action to establish your power. You may be not recognized initially, but once you take the action, you will be recognized throughout the life. This was a very inspiring story which the speaker has given to all of us. What I would like her to improve is little pauses and pay, because it was a very fast she was saying. So where like giving a pause when she had taken the action or something like that, some type of pause or something if she had taken, it would have added more value to the speech. But overall what I liked is a very inspiring story, which which will make me to remember that without taking action power cannot be established. So it's a very inspiring story, and I recommend that uh, I all the best to the speaker, and with that I conclude it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, bye.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanjay Jain, for your thoughtful evaluations. And the 1 minute break starts now. Has Nancy joined?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, okay, cool. Uh, okay, distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel, you can start your evaluation now.
Toastmaster Sanskriti. Words carry power. I think all of us learned this from Mohammad Kahtani's speech, the World Championship of Public Speaking winner 2015, that our words carry power. And today, you have emanated that power all throughout in your speech through your words. I could very well relate to your speech because the incidents you were talking about, I am not someone who hasn't been through or who hasn't seen all of that. So you kept me hooked from the moment go by not just narrating the incident, but also with multiple aspects. I'll just tell you what aspects I loved in your speech. Starting with the context, the way you started giving context about power, absolutely flawless. Then you talked about the entire construct of the speech was just simply amazing. Then there was a conflict, the conflict that I could very well relate to. And then there was a conclusion. You're not leaving us all hanging, but you're also giving us a conclusion, a message for all of us to have a takeaway from your speech today. That's about your context, your construct, your conflict, your conclusion, which was backed by your power of words. You had descriptive language usage from the moment go. Your pull ups, your dumbbell usage, the props, and all of those backed by the descriptive language. We could very well see the scene with the visual imagery and the descriptive language. Then you had rule of three, usage of rule of three multiple times. To talk about one, you talked about biceps power, triceps power, veins popping out power. So that's a usage of rule of three. You had very good body language as well as vocal variety. I'll just take one example, like you just talked about your father's paunch without even letting us know that there's a paunch. It was no usage of word, but only body language. Beautifully done. Now, since we're talking about power, I would want your speech to be more powerful. So I have, in my humble opinion, two suggestions for you to implement in your speech to take it to next level. First, there was good scope of humor for your speech. When you're talking about 5-year-olds, controlling 5-year-olds through power, take a pause. We were digesting that. So we know that, this is something we can laugh about. So that pause would have generated some chuckle. Next is your messaging. You said, I let go of people's expectation, let go of people's definition of power. We were not talking about expectation at all in the speech. Yes, people's definition of power, but not expectations. So that's where I felt in the messaging that was a mismatch. Probably it was because of time. But these were the two things that stuck out for me. One was scope of humor. There was good scope of humor you could have implemented, and the messaging could have been more relevant to the entire speech so that it's very, very powerful for all of us. That's my take on your speech. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel, for your insightful evaluation. The 1-minute breaks starts now. Can we have Toastmaster Gaurii on Spotlight? Okay. Please welcome Toastmaster Gaurii Agarwal. You can start with your evaluation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster Sanskriti today brought forward a topic which every girl, every woman, sometime or the other has dealt with. But when it happens with a child, it's even more heart-wrenching. Toastmaster Sanskriti, kudos to your courage for sharing this experience, and kudos to your courage for dealing with that pedophile at that age. Your narration carried honesty, your narration carried vulnerability. And that is why it had the power to connect with the audience, to connect with the mothers, the fathers of daughters, and the brothers of sisters in the audience today. What I loved about your speech was not just the story that you shared. I relate to it as a woman, but you also took me there visually with your body language. When you pushed him away with one hand and when the other hand was on your heart, on your chest, trying to give yourself courage or trying to console yourself. I think that is what was the transformational moment for me. Your voice also conveyed the same. There was weight and conviction in it. So the moment when you shifted the pain of the incident to the realization of inner power, the most impactful moment. Now, what would I have liked to see a little more of in your speech? The camera angle. That your speech was so powerful, but I just could not see all the expressions and all the gestures with clarity. In fact, at the beginning of the speech, you kind of leaned in. You were probably checking if everyone is able to see you or if you are able to see everyone. And that instantly was a distracting moment for me, mildly distracting. It somewhere took away from the powerful message of your speech. The second recommendation for me is there was a portion when you were repeating the repetition of control is power, money is power. When you gave us all the analogies, that set in a little bit of monotony because it was at the center of your speech. And my third recommendation to you would be the moment when you were sharing about you feeling powerless. I did not feel that disappointment of you being powerless because you sounded as strong. Your gestures were still big. How about kind of leaning in, kind of slouching, and really conveying that disappointment? So, Toastmaster Sanskriti, you definitely have a knack of touching hearts. Just request you to work a little bit on your camera angle, take it to your eye level, try to avoid repetition, and marry the body language with the emotion that you're trying to convey. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurii, for your thoughtful feedback. We will now take 1 minute break. Can we have Smruti on Spotlight? Please welcome Toastmaster Smruti. You can start your evaluation.
If power had a name, I would name it Sanskriti. For a Toastmasters and esteemed guest of the meeting, John Maxwell once said, power is not given to you, you have to take it. And today, dear Sanskriti, you took the power. You took the power by delivering a speech titled Power that carried strength, action, and inspiration today. So I'm going to use the word power to share my thoughts about your speech. The first one is passion. Trust me when you explain the way the teacher was getting close to you and you were uncomfortable on the screen, I had goosebumps. My heart was racing because I felt it. As if I am seeing it, visualizing it. Kudos to the power. You organized your speech so well. That's the O of the power. You took me to a journey from your uncle to your school teacher and the children's day when you were just 11 years old. The third thing which really stood out is your words with warmth. You use the power of words by describing layers of definitions, by using the word of humor that I am broke to a very sensitive discussion which is happening over here. Kudos, Sanskriti, for bringing passion, organization, and definitely the right choice of word with warmth with respect to the speech today. As we're talking about something really sensitive yet powerful, let me give you my E and the R, which might elevate the speech and reach maximum audience with the warmth you presented today. Let me present my first recommendation to you, Sanskriti, and that is the engagement. Well, we are not talking about the normal engagement of rhetorical devices because power lies in the minute things. I'm talking about the engagement with respect to your speech title. It holds a lot of gravity, my dear. When we talk about power, what kind of power are we talking about? Unhinged power? Undefined power? Unplugged power? Let's bring something to that, which will bring curiosity and intriguingness to the audience that what exactly the speaker is going to come and deliver it. We can definitely try that. And the last part is the rhythm. Now, what kind of rhythm? Let me give you a few variations to it. You had beautiful demonstration of pauses, your tonality throughout the entire speech. Having said that, there were certain instances where we felt that we are going in the same tune. We were talking about enough is enough, or where we're talking about the 11-year-old friends were really scared of the incident. The power was missing over there. We can bring that particular rhythm in our tone and words. The second rhythm is with respect to the visualization. We're talking about a dumbbell, Sanskriti, and especially for a 5-year-old kid, the dumbbell cannot be easy. It should be something which is really heavy. Let's bring that visualization in place. Trust me when I say this, we had power. If we know we have passion, we have organization, and we definitely have the words in place, let's bring the engagement and the rhythm to make the speech more powerful. If I can give a name to a power, I will name it Sanskriti. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Smruti, for your valuable feedback. We will now take a 1-minute break. Please welcome Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. Over to you, Sunil.
Sanskriti, what a powerful provocational speech, yeah. It raised my hackles. Tell me, where is the teacher? Let me tell you, what was there in your speech that hooked me? Number one, a breathtaking and thought-provoking story. It highlighted that in certain situations, your beauty, your money, your physical power, nothing worked. but your courage, your presence of mind, your inner power help you to get rid of that situation, that emergency. How you fought with that teacher and saved yourself. Hats off to you. And you beautifully decorated your speech with gestures, body movements, or your physical movements, whether it be lifting dumbbells, showing muscles, fighting with teacher. Great. Now, for the purpose of taking your speech on a higher level, I could hardly found a recommendation that I noticed that there was audience engagement missing. You could have asked a question, simple question. What is power according to you in the beginning? So you could maintain, you could build a relation with the audience. It shows that audience and you both are together. You are not alone, and the audience other side. And another thing is that your prop dumbbell was very small. It was not clearly visible. If you could have used a big dumbbell, it would have been a cherry on the cake. Overall, it was a great provocational speech with humorous start. It has a thought-provoking story and effective and impactful gestures, body movements. However, if you could have engaged the audience in the beginning or in the middle, it would have been gone another level. I can vouch for you that you are a charismatic speaker. I always look forward to your to hear your next speeches. Over to you, General Evaluator. Contest.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta, for your thoughtful evaluation. We will now take a 1-minute break.
Well, let me know when should I start.
Yeah. Can we have Sourav on spotlight?
Did you spotlight the others as well or no?
Yes.
Yes, we have spotlighted
Yes, they
it.
were. Yeah.
Because Renu said that she was not able to spotlight. Yeah.
Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta. Over to you, Sourav.
Okay, before you start the time, Sanskriti is there. Can Sanskriti come on screen? Sanskriti?
I'm here.
Yeah, okay. Can you please? Okay, yeah. Okay, now we can start. Sanskriti, at least on 26th of August 2025, I can say power for me is Sanskriti Acharya. There was power in your message, there was power in your story, there was power in your voice, there was power in your body language. For me, you were power personified. And I'm not telling this to you to make you feel good. I'll tell you why I feel so. First of all, the story, the conflict, right? The heart of any story is the conflict. And your conflict was very powerful. How? You had a character. You had exactly the right number of characters. And each of these characters had a role to play. And they conveyed a story, a message, which had to be conveyed the way you conveyed. But much before you came to the conflict, I was already hooked onto your story. From the time I heard the title of the story, the title of your speech, power, just enough to get me intrigued, just enough to keep me in the moment, just enough to keep me glued into the seat. That's exactly how a title should be. Intriguing and interesting enough for me to join in, but not revealing enough for me to stay back. Lovely. Now, what more can I ask for you in terms of power? See, you told me power is not knowledge, or rather, knowledge may not only be power. Money may not only be power. Muscles may not only be power. But I'm still trying to understand then what is power? And the answer to that question is still eluding me. And I feel one reason why we are still fishing for that answer, and there's a lack of clarity, is because your conflict came a little later in the day. If you go back and watch your speech, almost till 3 minutes, you were building up on the story. You were talking about your uncle, you were talking about other people, you talked about your dad, you attempted a subtle humor there. All of those things were happening. I think the build-up was a way too much, because of which you had very little time at the end to build the climax. So the climax just came and gone. A blink and miss kind of a climax. You said, I was running, I pushed him, I was running down, and I screamed. It was not there. I pushed him, I ran down, and I screamed. It should send chills down my spine. It did not. And that's why I'm still looking for that answer. I now know what power is not. I still don't know what exactly power is. And I would be waiting for your next speech to get that answer, Samskriti. A very powerful message, a story which actually every one of us could resonate with, and delivered with absolute purpose in a no-nonsense manner. Just plan it a little better in terms of setting so that your conflict comes at the right moment and your climax sounds more like a climax. Thank you, Sanskrit. Thank you for being so powerful.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sourav, for your encouraging feedback. And a big thank you to all our evaluators for their thoughtful and constructive evaluation segment. I will now introduce our star Toastmaster for today, Toastmaster Sanskriti. Toastmaster Sanskriti is a District 41 champion and Region 8 quarterfinal winner. She is a former English news writer and reporter at Kantipur Media Group. Currently, she is a final year BBA student and a semi-finalist in the 2025 World Championship of Public Speaking, and above all, a dreamer at heart. Can we have another round of applause for Toastmaster Sanskriti? Timer, please share if there are any disqualifications, and you can share your report on the screen as well as in the chat.
Sure. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, thank you, Sanskriti. That was brilliant. And I'm just going to quickly share my screen. Do I have the rights to share? Let me see.
Yeah, you have the rights to share.
Yeah, let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so from the total 8 number of evaluators that we had, we have only 3 which were qualified. I think the topic was so deep and intense that a lot of people had a lot of detailed review. but this is the full snapshot of how it is. So 3 of the evaluations have gone through and are qualified.
No,
Uh,
it was yellow actually when I was speaking. So there was a timing device failure in that case.
Yes, I was not
In
able
that-
to,
Yeah,
I was
in
not
that
able to
case,
change it.
then it is
Yeah,
not a disqualification.
sure.
32nd place adds up.
and another thing, timer, please note Nancy Goel is also not disqualified because we have like 30 seconds like payoff, right?
Hmm.
30 second break,
Seconds
yeah.
grace, even for Sanjay Jain,
Yeah, so then
Yes.
in
on
that
both
case,
sides.
okay, because it was at 1.56. Sure, I will then accordingly make it.
1.56.
Since there was a timing device failure, can we just make note of the time but not disqualify anyone from the polls?
Sure. Okay. So I'll just consider all of them as qualified, but we are just noting them the timings. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster
Sure.
Dev, for sharing the report. With that, it's now time to hand over to our presiding officer. Over to you, Toastmaster Samita Kar.
Thank you, TMOD, Toastmaster Vipul Sharda. Let us hear it for our Toastmaster of the day. What an interesting meeting we had today. It was really, first, I should say, we were wondering how to increase the engagement in Instagram that every one of us here would love to hear. We got the precise answer and what we should do. She spoke about consistency, relatability, and looking at her journey, we understood why consistency is so important. Right from 2017 to 2025, such a long journey. Every good thing comes when we put in the hard work. We hear that, we saw it today. Coming to the evaluation, 8 evaluators. What a range of evaluations we heard today. Right from the grammar, the title, and the structure. So much learning to take today in today's meeting. It was a wonderful meeting. But we cannot say it's wonderful. We need to have our guest to understand how we can make our meetings better. Our guests who are there in the meeting right now. Yes, Anisha Gupta.
Samita, before you start that, you have to ask Sanskriti to send her votes to you. So we will have a mix of her vote and the audience poll. So Sanskriti, if you can just send it to this one, then we will compile it.
Whom should she send?
To you.
To me? Okay.
Yeah.
So please send it.
And you can, then after that, we will be doing this one. So you put it on the group. So on the XCOM group, you put your polls in the XCOM group.
Yes. Guest Anisha Gupta. You were there throughout the meeting and we want to hear your feedback.
Yes, Toastmaster Presiding Officer Samita. I hope I am audible.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I'm using a second device as my audio device. Yeah. Actually, so this is like my first Toastmasters meeting with the Bangalore region. I believe District 92. And I loved the variety, and I was initially expecting that it would be a regular Toastmasters meeting with the speeches and the evaluations and the table topics. But I understand and I saw the format beforehand that this is an evaluations mock contest. The experiencing this took me back a few years back when I used to be a participant in one of these contests. And I really loved the professionalism, the enthusiasm, and the quality of content which all the evaluators brought in, and of course the test speaker brought in. I think this was a very good concept. The concept of having an informal discussion round was something new to me, and it was very good to have the guest speaker and get the knowledge. The guests and get the knowledge from them. So overall, it was a beautiful evening experience on this Tuesday. I would like to be part of more of such meetings in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a guest group. You can join our guest group. We will be sending you the link and you can join and you can get all the updates in that group. Angela, I see Angela. Toastmaster Angela, would you like to give a feedback? You were there through the meeting.
Yes, can you hear me?
We can,
Hello?
loud and clear.
Great. It was an action-packed meeting. It was a double delight. We had the educational, which was the thing that brought me in, and I stayed on as a courtesy and because it was so interesting to hear the evaluation contest. The only thing I can suggest, if you want to ever do something similar again, is that it seemed that your timer had total responsibility. And my experience of contests is that you have two different timers so that you're not having one timer who has to do everything. One person is flashing the cards and the other one is noting the times. And then that makes it a lot easier for the timer. So perhaps if you did that, it would be nice for the timer if you ever do this again. Otherwise, everything was just wonderful. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, or the current convener.
Thank you so much. We will definitely keep it in mind. I see. Yes, anyone wants to share their experience today?
Hi, yes, it's Anton.
Yes.
As this is the second time for me joining the club, I really enjoyed the overall experience. I enjoyed your first speaker, the influencer, very well done. I enjoyed the speech. The evaluation contest was very well run, except I found that there were some shortages there that I think you should address. The people doing the timing were inexperienced, and you need that to be sorted out. Instructions weren't clear to overall. And the 5 minutes silence in between, all the evaluators should be taken to a separate meeting room, and the rest of the meeting should carry on. It's disrespectful to your Toastmasters as well as to your guests just to blanket them for 5 minutes. It's very disrespectful. You could have had a short table topic session or something like that. Overall, the evaluation portion was very well done. Some excellent evaluations by all of the people there. And I know then somebody says this is not a contest, but still, if you wanted to run something like this, you'd have to do it properly, not half-assed. You advanced club, you need to act as advanced club. I'm sorry if my words are harsh, but you need to step it up. I'm a member of Advanced Club and you disappointed me today. With that being said, thank you for letting me join. I really appreciate it. And overall, I've had a great experience. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you for your evaluation. We will definitely look into it. I see distinguished Toastmaster Harish.
Hi, good
evening. So.
Hi, good evening. After sitting through a speech and 7 or 8 evaluations, and you leave confused, thinking which was better, The speaker was better or the evaluations were better. That is a testimony that you have attended something great. I would say it was a master class in evaluation. I loved the evaluations, beautiful evaluations. And speaker also was worthy of those kind of evaluation. It was a fantastic session, good learning for me. Yes, I would echo Anton's views that yes, if you had used the break room for the evaluators, probably we would have the letter on evaluators wouldn't have got some advantage listening to other evaluators. Otherwise, it was fantastic. And Sourav, oh my God, I had heard and seen Sourav playing a wonderful cover drive, but this Sourav pulls a punch beautifully, powerful, wonderful evaluation. It was beautiful for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Harish Bilgi. Yes, does anyone else want to share?
Yeah, hi, this is Kumar again.
Go ahead.
Yes, this is Kumar again. Really, it was a fantastic session today. What I feel, we all learning. Even the timer, he had made some technical glitches, but this will be a good experience for the timer. I hope he will take as a positive. The moment when all the comments were being treated to the timer, he felt a little bit something like, no, it's Dave Campbell. You had done a great job. At the moment, it's like volunteer. You put the time, you came forward, you try your best, but you take all these points as just positive. But next time you'll make sure that all get the points. This is one thing. And second thing, all the evaluators fantabulous, as Toastmaster DTM Harish said, fantabulous. Even Sourav Dutta, even Sravan, Kumar, Smruti, all the Toastmasters, you done fantastic job. And final advice is, while making as a timer, you may consider as spotlight timer as well as the speaker. So this will help the Toastmasters even as well as the guests. This is the advice. And second advice, while making the poll, considering like putting the numbers, because we don't know who is number Sravan, who is Dave. For example, Smruti, like in the poll, just like first based on the sorting order, whatever you have chosen, the same sorting order it is then easy for the polling. This is my advice. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kamar, for we have noted out, and definitely this is the first time we were trying a mock evaluation, and all your feedbacks we will be taking care of, and we will definitely work on it. After such a beautiful session, we all know you are eager about the results. That will come in a moment. A few things before that, since Gabbys is two club and we have it's a one family, we have two meetings. So one meeting is on Tuesday and one meeting is on Saturday. So those who want to join, you're welcome for the Saturday meeting also. We have our contest plan. The Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmasters Club contest, table topic contest is on 9 September. I urge those who have still not filled up the form, please fill up the form and make sure that you are a participant, because these contests teach us a lot. Nominate yourself for upcoming humorous speech contest on 16th, table topic contest on 9th of September, followed by Gabbys table topic and humorous speech contest on 13th September. So all these contests are coming up and we need a lot of nominations for these contests. Just go today, it is there in the group, and immediately fill it up. As we are all waiting, who is the top position for the evaluation contest? So the first person.
You go in the opposite order. You go in the opposite order. Samita.
Yes. Third.
Samita, you start with the third position, then the second, then the first. That's how it's done.
Just give me a second. Obviously, when we are trying to do something, technology will pull our leg and say that, okay, you are trying your best and there.
Samita, did you hear me?
Yes, I
Yeah.
heard you.
So it's to be the third, then the second, then the first.
Yes, I know that. I'll do that. I'm just facing some issue. That's the reason I asked for a. Okay. So the third position is joint third. It is Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel and Sravan Kumar. It's a tie. This is a mock contest, but still all of our evaluators took it very seriously and did their best. The second position goes none other than Distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta for his clinical evaluation, and our evaluator of the day, the first position goes to Toastmaster Smruti Mohanty. A loud round of applause for all the winners. Well done. Well done. Thank you all so much for being till this end of the meeting and making this meeting a success. So it's all for today. I declare the meeting closed. Good night. Bye-bye. See you on Saturday with another wonderful meeting.
Thank you. And Sanskriti, thank you so much for joining.